I was perfectly fine until now, and my mouth is like, hey, so you're gonna play a game right now? Cool, I'm gonna make it feel very uncomfortable. It's not in pain, it's just, it's the sensation of if I overwork it, then it's going to be in pain. Oh, nothing happened. No. Oh, crap. I lost one of my bottles of Advil. I don't know where it is. And I bought a new one because I was right now. But the new one is on my bed. It's so far away. Specifically, it's at the head of my bed. My bed's literally right next to me. Ow! I just cracked my neck something fierce. Yeah, I didn't go to the post office like I said I was going to. Because it took me a while to pack the things I need to, because I didn't do it yesterday. And then I got distracted, and then I ate lunch, and here we are. I kid you not. And then at that point I just accepted defeat, and I'm like, alright, we'll go to FedEx. I have to like go to FedEx and UPS to drop stuff off. I actually got stuff in the mail that I wanted to pick up. I do need to drive out to the office on Monday. Monday is my birthday. So we might just we'll do a stream either tomorrow or Tuesday. I haven't figured that out yet. Probably tomorrow. Because I feel like I'm just gonna perish on Tuesday. Right. Whatever. I came here to be an attorney. An attorney I shall be. But to make sure I calibrated myself. Hello. I have still not closed the game since when we last played. Okay, I was investigating, I believe. Here we have another disproportionately large machine. Looks like a meter of some kind. Ah, this is a gas meter, I think. It seems that in the distance, residents pay for gas as they use with coins. I see. Yes, now that you pointed it out. I can see that there's just a slot here that looks like it would take a coin. So you mean if we put a coin in here? That's right. That would buy you about 2 hours of gas for lights and heating. Though, if you were a poor person with no money, you'd have to sleep in the freezing cold. Yes, or if you were scatterbrained with no change because you forgot to exchange your money at the bank. Thank goodness there's no meter in our office. The body? Oh, the poor man. So young to die. I suppose it was a very painful death being poisoned as he was? I don't know. All we can do now is hope that he'll be reborn to a better life. Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder. Do you think that putting our hands together in Japanese prayer will help a British soul? Sorry? I made sure I had a reference at the ready for just such an occasion as this, actually. This book is entitled The Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed, the British Way. I'll just reread it for now. One moment. There's quite a spine on that book, isn't there? Ah, one of the teacups that Mr. Shamspeare and his fucking Shamspeare. I can't get over the name. And his guest drank from last night. Don't go drinking from them, Mr. Naruhodo. There's bitter poison inside. I'm not planning on drinking anything, don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty. That's true. Though one was Mr. Shamspeare's, and the other must be the cup that Mr. Natsume was drinking from. Seki-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take these so we can examine them in more detail later. can't see anything that like superly strikes me right now. The gas wall light, isn't it? Must be connected to the gas pipe in the wall. Gas lights? A gas stove? London really is a city of gas. Now that I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Gerardep has an open fire on the top floor, didn't they? Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove up there. Well, I much prefer a real fire anyway. So much cozier. Rip the guy. Yeah. To be or not to be, that is the question. Did you want me to investigate anything further? Cause nothing really strikes me. I'm gonna go upstairs. Oh god, there's a lot of places I can go to. Drinksies? Oh yeah, that is Drinksies. Hold on, I don't remember those missiles being up there before. Above the fireplace. I don't remember those being up there. Here we are again, the eccentric landlord's eccentric top floor abode. We're here because Mr. Gerardep's the one who discovered the incident this morning, don't forget. Hi. Ah, you chaps, eh? Yes, good morning, sir. Thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday. It was quite a trial. As much for Mr. Gerardep as anyone, really. Came straight back here after all that business at the Bailey yesterday. Didn't expect to wake up to more bally nonsense this morning. I wonder if you wouldn't mind telling us exactly what happened, Mr. Gerardep. Yes, I suppose you'd like to know all about that dead loss of an actor chap in the ground floor room. Those were exactly Inspector Gregson's words, weren't they? Oh, he's standing up. Hello. Would you like to see my shiny badge? Mr. Gerardep, could I show you this? Quite a couple of days, as you can imagine. I'm afraid I'm rather tired. Haven't really got the energy in the old eyeballs, to be honest with you. Some other time, then. What this? No, alright, fine. You are not interested. It must have been a real shock for you this morning. I hear that you've discovered what has happened. Ah, well, that hopeless actor chap rises at 5 o'clock sharp every morning without fail. At 5:30 this morning, he still hasn't lit the gas. So I went down and knocked on his door, but no bally answer. And that's when you broke into his room by kicking down the door. Well, I called on that rum-looking Japanese chap to do the grunt work, of course. Wasn't it a little premature to kick the door down? The man could have just overslept by half an hour. That's very true, Mr. Naruhodo. If 30 minutes oversleeping warranted such behavior, I'd have to kick your door down every morning. Well, you know, better to be safe than sorry and all that. It's just me, or is he avoiding our gaze now all of a sudden? Except that it was a sorry situation indeed that he found on the far side of this door. The victim's name is Mr. Shamspeare, I believe. Is that right? Yes, William Shamspeare. Took the ground floor room 3 months ago now. And how would you describe him? In a word, destitute. Destitute? Well, let's face it, the only redeeming feature of that room is the cheap rent. Anyone wanting to live in a place like that is either broke or has a bally screw loose. So hard to choose which category Saseki-san would fall into. Mr. Naruhodo, that's a little rude. He was doing research as well. Research? Into what? Shakespeare, of course! Shakespeare! Oh, wait, they're not the same! Read a few plays of the old bard myself, you know. Romeo and Hamlet and all that. Yes, William Shakespeare is England's most highly regarded classical playwright and author. He's done a Sao in Japanese, as you know, and many of his works have already been translated. It seems incredible that Shakespeare was shortened to Sao, though. Almost too heavy-handed there. There were a lot of costumes in the victim's room, actually, weren't there? Of course, Mr. Natsume is a scholar of English literature as well. I imagine he and Mr. Shamspeare would have had much in common. So that's the weird thing. We have William Shakespeare, but not Sherlock Sholmes? Or Sherlock Holmes. Holy fuck, this game is infecting my brain. Ah! Raps. Please end my life. I wish not to be here. Shakespeare interpretation and disagreement leads to shocking murder. Let's hope it's not that. Mr. Naruhodo, really? How rude! No, you have shiny cardboard coming. I know I do. I'll pay you in like 5 centuries from now. Fine. After Mr. Natsume's trial yesterday, you came straight back here, I believe, didn't you? Did you notice anything strange between then and this morning? Well, now, must have been about 6 in the evening by the time I got home. The sun was coming down rather heavily, as I remember, and it was completely dark already. That failed actor chap was out at the time. Scared noticed there was no light from his room or something. Couldn't summon the energy for anything much, so I just sat in front of the fire up here. It was after 8 before Shamspeare got back, and the chap was up until past 1 in the morning, I'll have you know. Suppose he met his end sometime after that. I was asleep by then, so I'm rather in the dark there. Well, thank you. That was very illuminating. Is everything alright, Mrs. Zato? Well, I was just thinking it's a little strange, that's all. Mr. Girdeb, you were up here in your room all evening, if I understand correctly. Not a big fan of stairs, not with this blasted leg. Then, how is it that you seem to know? Precise movements of your tenant on the ground floor, I mean. That's a very good point. I can't imagine you could hear noises from the ground floor all the way up here. Does this old man like to smile on his tenants? Is that it? I say, I know what you're thinking. It's a badly outrage. I'm ex-military, don't you know? I don't go around spying on my tenants. Why would I? Then how do you know, Mr. Girdeb? It's the gas, woman. The gas tells me everything. The gas? What on earth do you mean, sir? How can a gas tell you anything, let alone everything? Well, as you're probably aware, the gas is supplies to the building by pipes. Yes, I'd more or less worked that out. Every room in the building is connected by a single pipe to the gas main outside. And the gas company supplies gas to properties via the main. Yes, I understand that too. Let me see if I can explain. Let's say I was to light the gas lamps up here. What do you suppose would happen? Well, obviously the room would get brighter. Exactly, but at the same time, the lights in all of the other rooms of the house would dim for a moment. What? They dim? Why? Perhaps it's because when you light a gas lamp, it briefly uses more gas than usual. And that reduces the amount of gas in the pipe for the other lamps that are connected to it. That might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily, might it? Yes, of course, because everything's connected to a single supply pipe. Is that supposed to happen, though? It sounds rather undesirable. Probably a good point. Fact is, the gas company's pipes in these parts are pretty hopeless. Long worn out. I barely got any gas in them to start with. Opposite is also true, of course. Extinguish the lamps up here and they glow brighter than the rest of the house. Ah, right, I see. So by watching the flickering of lamps in one room, you can determine what's happening elsewhere. Got it. Oh, of course, because when people come back home in the evening and before they go to sleep at night, what they're guaranteed to do is either light or put out their lamps and fires. Clever. In point of fact, the room on the ground floor and the one above it uses slightly different amounts of gas. By watching the lights in here closely, I can work out almost exactly what's going on in the whole house. Gosh, that's fascinating, Mr. Gerdev. Absolutely fascinating. Oh, well, nothing to it, really. And I can't really see that it's going to help us with the case either. I'd like to know why Mr. Gerdev is so interested in what his tenants are up to in the first place. I feel like there's more to it than idle curiosity. Okay. He has nothing for me. Let's go to Briar Road. Sure. What do people want from me? Got this. Excuse me? There's no cutscene? No nothing? Nothing happened? Is that an apple? Hold on, what is that on the windowsill? You see that? There's something green. With the exception of the top floor where Mr. and Mrs. Gerdev live, all the windows are bricked up. Yes, that's because of an old window tax that was charged on the number of windows a property had. In order to pay less tax, the poorer members of society filled in many of their windows. But the tax has since been abolished, hasn't it? So the windows could all be opened up again, surely. Unfortunately, it would appear that the residents of the district can't afford to pay to have the work done. Yes, that is a sad state of affairs. Especially for people like poor Mr. Natsume, who has to live all cooped up in the windowless room. I suppose that's the price you pay for living in a very cheap accommodation. It all seems rather pointless when you put it like that. Is that an apple? Do you see that? There's a green thing on my window. What the hell is that? Look at the little snowman! He's just being a snowman. Okay, there's nothing of interest out here. Literally nothing of interest. I'm gonna tell you right now, we're gonna get lost a bit because I'm playing this for the first time, and unless the game makes it very obvious, I'm not gonna know if I've searched everything. Huh? Oh shoot. He's probably still questioning. Did I need to find more stuff? No? I swear if anything happens to him, it's to war. I'm so confused. What is going on? Hold on. So usually it's because I haven't finished exploring something and I don't know what it expects me to do. This is some sort of makeshift stage, I think, isn't it? Where does the audience sit, though, for the nightly Shakespeare performances? Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruhodo, with or without an audience. In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for the defense in your in your office. What? Then you could practice your art every single day. I'll think about it. If you promise to don a beer and play the role of the judge. Well, if that would help you achieve your goal. This I have to see. Why is the place so messy? Because the rent here is stupidly cheap. So freaking. I need to get a Switch 2 controller to replace this one. To be seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up. A vestige of the former window tax that Britons have to pay? Strange things they use to tax in Great Britain. I mean, making people pay for the number of windows they had in a property is extraordinary. It's heartbreaking to think of the poor having to block up their windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax. Oh. What is it, Mrs. Sato? If you look closely, a number of the bricks are loose. Oh yes, it looks as though an amateur had broken out a few of them just here. Was it Mr. Shamspeare who did it, I wonder? Being the lodger renting this room. Ah, look at this, Mr. Naruto. On the outside, there's a little ledge. And there's something on it. This is the thing I saw outside. What, outside? It's so cold outside. You can feel through this gap. It did snow all last night. It would be cold. More importantly, what is on the ledge out there? What are those snow-covered lumps? It's more bars of soap. Oh, what are bars of soap doing lined up at the ledge outside the window? I have no idea. The pair of them look rather charming like that. Still, that's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined up outside the window. I think perhaps we should take one. There are two after all. Oh dear. I suppose we could. Oh, what's this? Look here at the soap. You see it in the middle there? It's a patch that's different. That's a different color. It's sort of transparent, but some sort of fancy design, I suppose. Only in Great Britain. It looks like the Hinamaru flag of Japan, doesn't it? How wonderful! It's probably a very expensive brand. Expensive? What's it doing in this ramshackle old room? We didn't take the fancy soap. Looks like you're having a good snoop around, huh? Hi! Inspector Gregson! Back so soon? After I threw that little Japanese fella on the clink, I went and reported this to the investigation division. In 5 minutes' time, this place will be cordon. Why am I having such a problem today? I'm just gonna shut up. It's gonna be locked away. They're not gonna let us investigate anymore. Oh, I see. Well, we better be leaving then. Poor Mr. Natsume must be feeling very low, being back in his cell again so soon. Huh? Huh? Hi? What? Hello? Huh? Yeah, he's alive! You should probably go in. What's wrong, Mr. Naruto? Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player. Struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. Now, how soundeth the next part? It's a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Indeed! Oh, happy day! Ah! Why did his body have to jump like a ragdoll? What? Walking Dead! I don't think his legs are supposed to contort that way. The fella isn't dead at all? What's that nonsense you were saying, though? Yes, it was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth. Sorry, when it got to that scene, I saw the fork drop, and I'm like, why did the fork drop? And I saw him fucking sit up, and I got real scared. A soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5. Shakespeare. Wait, there's something on the ground. So it was. The victim, Mr. William Shamspeare, came back to life. If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment. And Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime. Whatever that now was. There's something on the floor, though! Gregson, please! Oh, hey, that's the other guy. What do you think will happen now? Good question. Strange situation for Mr. Natsume. Arrested for murder, but then the victim comes back to life. I think perhaps that the victim was never dead in the first place. It seems very likely that Mr. Shamspeare did consume poison as to be deduced. But was it an accident, attempted suicide, the murder? Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody. I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells. Oh, what's this? What's that man doing over there? He looks like he's trying to see into Saseki-san's lodgings. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Excuse me? Could we have a word? Oh, what the heck? Is he supposed to be a reference of a honeybee? Oh, just ran off. I feel sure I've seen that man before. Where was it? I do too, but I don't remember. Well, we've done as much investigating here as we can, I think. Perhaps we ought to go to the prison and speak with Mr. Natsume again. A good idea. No. Bad. And no, he got poisoned by the teacup. He did not get poisoned by soap. No! Natsume! Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Natsume, have the police finished questioning you now? Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! Oh, yes? What is he? Tell me! Is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me? Let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Sholmes? He actually calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume, not a ghost. But his diabolic deductions, they're not of this world. They've left me. Cursed! I'm cursed, I tell ya! Well, that sort of hurts. Credit where credit is due, Mr. Naruhodo. You were heavily involved in the deduction too. Yes, moving on. We have some wonderful news. Oh? The victim that we all thought was dead had come back to life again. Now in the absolutely worst case, he could only be tried for attempted murder. That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsume? It's terrible! I'm stuck in a cell, suffering for some silly wrong end of the stick! You did it, didn't you? Confess! You're a killer! Why the mustache? Constant questions! I'm sorry to hear that. Ah! That selfish shyster! Make up your mind. Are you dead or alive? If you were going to come back to life, why bother dying? Wickedly wishy-washy William! Well, it seems likely that Mr. Shamspeare was never actually dead in the first place. Ah, yes, that might make sense. And I'm pleased that he's alive, of course. Our lively debate last night was much fun. I'd be sad to think it was our last. Oops. Mr. Natsume, does this mean you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shamspeare, didn't you? I'm not saying another word! I demand to have a lawyer present! Who do you think I am? Please, Mr. Natsume, we need to hear your side of the story. Why am I cursed like this? But yeah, Saseki Natsume is, the character is actually a real person in history. If I recall, I just, the most that I know is that he's on the $10,000 yen? Or the 10,000 yen bill? And he's a famous author of some form? I know very little about him, myself. Hey, by the way, you like this? Have I shown you this before, Mr. Natsume? Oh, yes, the sweet, sweet aroma of our beloved homeland. It shows that the wearer is a defense lawyer. It means nothing in Great Britain, of course, but I still wear it. Oh, I know exactly how you feel, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. My Haramaki belly band! I don't feel right without it! Your Haramaki belly band? It's perfect for the cold English winters. Just a thing to keep my tummy warm. Yes. Need a link. Almost. Mr. Natsume, it's nothing much but... Ah, it's been too long since I've offered a present with that delightfully humble etiquette of our homeland. What? You're too kind. I accept it greatly. Sorry, but I wasn't trying to give this to you, actually. Oh. Mr. Natsume, what do you know about this? Ah, there it is! That latterly lowlife that took my neighbor's life and sent me sliding into the depths of despair! Slippery, sickly, psychotic saboteur! You've really gone off soap, haven't you? Absolutely! I've made up my mind. The next time someone gives me soap as a present, it's... friendship finished firmly forever! I don't know that we can blame soap for everything that's happened, Mr. Natsume. Okay, no, alright, fine. You're not allowed to take the piece of paper, sir. Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Mr. Natsume? There's nothing to tell! But, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, I'm eternally grateful to you for helping me with that cursed case yesterday! Case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back. It's hard to believe that was only yesterday. After the trial was over, I trudged my weary way back to my lonely lodgings. And that evening, at past 9 it must have been, I visited Shamspeare. Though you did go to the victim's room then. As we feared. I didn't do anything wrong! I've never been to his room before! It was the first time! Then, what made you decide to go? I bumped into him when I arrived back at the house. We got chatting and developed into discussion. He had to go out, so I bade him farewell. Ties him with what Mr. Garrett said. The victim went out and came back after 8. Met again later that evening at around 9 or just after. When I took him some nice tea I brewed as a gift. It was you who brought the tea that had clearly been drunk at the scene then. And I suppose you were discussing the works of Shakespeare, were you? Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Romeo and Juliet. Who was just stronger? It was a delightful debate. I'm sure. Such a stimulating subject, Shakespeare! And the debate became very heated, so you slipped poison into Mr. Shamspeare's tea. No! Never! Not at all! Team Juliet won! That was me! And when I left this room, the flamboyant fellow was fighting fit! I swear it, categorically! Mr. Natsume, you often say the same thing about yourself, I've noticed. And you have a cursed existence. I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, but I've been here in Great Britain for a year now, and in that time I've learned that it's no place for me. It can be a very trying time to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture. There are foreigners everywhere I look. They all stare at me. They all laugh. That's the impression I get whenever I go out. Makes me scared to leave my room. Which is why I've become a recluse. But even in my room, I find no respite from my fears. I moved more times than I can remember, and then 1 week ago I moved into Briar Road. But why? I mean, why did you choose that place? It doesn't seem very comfortable. Because the rent is cheap. I have so little money it spoke to me. The rent? Obviously. There's a reason why it's cheap. Because the room is cursed. Cursed? Cursed how? Previous occupant, the man who lived there before I took the room, died there. Oh no! He was only a young man, but one morning he was found dead and no one could explain why. Apparently no one would want to live in a room with a history like that. I didn't. When the letting agent recommended the place, I wavered. But I want books! And books cost money! A horrible history is a small price to pay! When I realized it would mean I could buy more books, I signed the lease like lightning. Brave or blinkered? After I moved in, I soon came to realize what I've done. I realized how horrible that room's history really was. Gosh, is it really so awful? How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? What happened? At first, it was just a feeling. The feeling of beady eyes boring into my back, watching me. You think that might have just been your mind playing tricks on you? No. My mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else. It's been one long nightmare ever since I was given the keys to the place. A nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, you mean? All the souls who've died in that room leaned over me in my sleep and tried to strangle me. That really is horrible. And now I come to think of it, it happened again last night too. The very same night that Mr. Shamspeare was writhing in agony from the poison in his body, I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room. You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible. So you're right, I know it, and that's why. I'm already searching for the next room with a history to call home. I think perhaps you should try to avoid accommodations with any kind of history at all. Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself may become history. Whew! Suzato sure knows how to make the man listen. Who the fuck's trying to get my attention? Leave me the fuck alone! Of course. Mr. Lord of the Manor is worried about the curse on my room as well. You mean Mr. Garrett? Yes. He knows that if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent it out again. That's true. I, for one, wouldn't go near the place. Ah, perhaps. That may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps and his tenants' movements. You mean because he's worried about their well-being? He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. There must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants of his let room. Mean he pays so much attention to the gas lamps. Oh dear, no, it's nothing to do with you, Mr. Natsume. Please forget I said anything. Oh, now you're talking about me behind my back as well. What's important is that Mr. Shamspeare isn't in fact dead at all. Once he comes around and he's able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released. Please. Oh, I do hope you're right. Wait, so do we get to go against Von Zeeks? I actually don't know who the enemy prosecutor is in this game. Excuse me. Hi. Inspector Gregson! I couldn't help overhearing what you just said. And on that note, I have some good news and some bad news. Oh. Which do you want first? Always, every time, the bad news comes first. When hope is all you have, hold on to it. That's my guiding principle. Right, well, in that case, the good news it is. Huh? Sorry, but it's just a lot easier to explain everything in that way. Why did you even ask my preference? As you might have heard, the victim, Mr. Shamspeare, was just unconscious. He's come around now. Yes, we saw it happen in all of its terrifying glory. Still being treated by the doctors, but we managed to get a written statement from him already. Oh, isn't that wonderful, Mr. Natsume? Oh, thank goodness. It's all over then. I can leave the somber cell. Sorry, no. That's not on the cards. What? Why ever not, Inspector? Mr. Shamspeare has implicated someone as being responsible for what happened last night. Implicated someone? Oh dear. You don't mean... I'm sorry to say I do. Yes. He pointed a finger at you, Mr. Natsume. Ah! By sweet poison did he seeketh to end my life. Wickedest caitiff, Soseki Natsume. No! So I'm afraid he'll be appearing in court as planned. He'll be wanting to make the necessary preparations. No! Though, once again, Soseki-san found himself having to take the dock in the Old Bailey. Whether his room was haunted or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. The following day, I would represent him in court and do my utmost to pick the curse that blighted him. If it's a to be continued, I need to go grab a trash bag so I can clean my room. God damn it! Okay, fine. I will do that as soon as we get back to music. Ooh! Ooh! Ooh, I like the tone that it does when we get into the to be continued state. Okay, hold up. Let me be right back, like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Let me wait for these dishes. I forgot to poke Leon. He's probably gone. That's fine. I got a trash bag. I'm over here being like, well, if I'm just gonna be talking and reading, I might as well try to clean up too. Multitasking at its finest. Will that kill my brain cell? Tune in to find out. Huh? What? My sound cut out. Why? Why did my sound cut off on my monitor? What? It just suddenly, it randomly stopped. I looked over at OBS. I'm like, the sound's still playing. Why did it stop playing on my monitor? What are you doing? Don't do that. The Old Bailey. This place always makes me feel strange. Man, no, like, it's fine on OBS, it's fine on stream. It's just my monitor. Like, the monitor just cut out the sound all of a sudden. I got really fucking confused. I seem to get chills down my spine and break out in a nervous sweat all the same. Well, I didn't think I'd be back here so soon. That's my line! Oh! Good morning! Ah, good morning, Mr. Natsume. 2 days ago, that was declared not guilty here. Yes, we somehow managed to prove he didn't stab Miss Green in the back. But now this! Another morning, another murder! And here I am again in this hellhole! Can't keep coming to court! I'm beginning to think he's right. It really does seem as though he's cursed. Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid I have bad news. Oh! Mr. Natsume. Good morning. Yes. Morning. So, here we are again. Yes. Again. Judicial system, Miss Mikatoba Squires! What's the bad news? Oh dear. You heard, didn't you? If you've come in chatting at the top of your voice, people can't help hearing what you say! Oh, I am sorry. You've done nothing wrong, Mrs. Sato. Now, what is it? Well, it seems that the prosecution in today's trial will be led by Lord Baron von Zieks. Von Zieks? Ah! Oh no! Oh no, no! So I do get to fight against Baron! So-called Reaper of the Bailey, the most legendary prosecutor in the land. Still one of my favorite characters for no reason in particular. All 2 days ago, he pursued Soseki-san and I relentlessly. Of course, by the skin of our teeth, we managed to pull through. Still. Perhaps Mr. Natsume's acquittal in the last trial wasn't the end of the matter. After all, yes, I know what you're thinking. Legend of the Reaper that says nothing can save a person in the dock when Lord Von Zieks is the prosecutor. You know you love the boot slam or the ruffle. I actually don't care about the ruffles. I don't know why. I just think he's a really neat character. I do really like the boot slam now. That's cool. Oh no. That even if that person is found not guilty, the accused will meet a mysterious end, one way or another. And we've experienced it firsthand. A man we successfully defended met the most terrifying end after his acquittal, right here in the Old Bailey. Ah! Do I have to put up with those ice-cold eyes bored into my soul again? Cursed by evil spirits, and now by the Reaper! Pair of petrifying perils, potentially! Oh, if it's potentially... At least you appear to have hope, Mr. Natsume. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! Yes? I'm innocent! You have to believe me! You, more than anyone now! Don't worry. I'll be your steadfast ally every step of the way in this battle. I promise. And this promises to be a hard battle, I fear. So confused by Ruffles, never seen him as a good fashion choice. Well, the trial is scheduled to begin shortly. We should move into the courtroom. Let's go. Oh yes, I forgot to say. I'm afraid you won't be able to make it. Mr. Sholmes, I mean. That's probably for the best. If he were here, I might be tempted to rely on his help. And that could be seen as a weakness. If Lord Von Zieks were to notice, he'd prey on him mercilessly. At least that's my gut feeling. To Naruhodo. Right. Yes, you're so right. Oh, well said, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Well said. I swear on the sword at my side and on the spirit of Kazuma that it harbors. Show him what a Japanese lord can do. I'll set you free with honor. Oh, yes. Maybe I can't clean while I play this game. I can make too much noise. Von Zieks, hello! You look like a vampire as always. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. Defense is ready, my lord. Readiness for the trial, my learned Nipponese friend, is not what the defense needs. Need readiness for your inevitable defeat. Not just in my imagination, it's really there. Lord Von Zeeks, such an animosity towards us Japanese for some reason. It was some time ago now that he first became known as the Reaper of the Bailey, I believe. The past few years, he hasn't appeared in court at all. Now he's back in the courtroom, though for some reason. Only when I'm defending. It's Reaper. Curious disdain for us Japanese. Prosecutor shrouded in mystery. Still, this is the time to be pondering that. To concentrate on Soseki-san's trial. Yeah, the only thing that we know about him is that he did have a trusted Japanese friend. That something happened and now it's no longer trusted. This is also back in the days where this was a very common thing to happen. Furthermore, I now call upon the 6 ladies and oh shit, who is the jury? I was not paying attention. You have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. I don't believe that they're chosen at random. You lie. See? Wait, are you fucking reusing the jurors from the last game too? Absolutely. I had a feeling this Larkin wasn't innocent before. I must say, I feel especially ruthless on days when my hat refuses to sit right. I'm sorry, what is going on? Oh? Well, I rather like how you're wearing your hat. I think the ruthless look is very fetching, actually. I need to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. I have a very important meeting. Let's make this quick. It is literally the same goddamn jurors except one lady. It is the goddamn same lineup. I fucking hate it here. Couldn't agree more. I need to take home 5 bob tonight, or the missus will go through the roof. Oh, may the Lord show us all the light here and lead his flock to a righteous verdict. The British jury system is so very different to our own, isn't it? It's quite extraordinary to think that the power of the judgment here is in the hands of 6 members of the public, and that the judge can only pass sentence when all jurors are in agreement about the defense's guilt. 6 citizens of London, chosen at random, or at least, that's the idea. The prosecution would draw attention to the fact that the accused was on trial here but 2 days ago. Accordingly, where possible, the same jurors have been asked to return for duty today. Very well. Let's commence the trial. Lord Von Zeeks, your opening statement, please. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is not the intent of the prosecution to cast doubt over your past decision. However, the innocent verdict afforded to this eccentric Nipponese before had dire consequences. Did the accused repent for his wrongdoing in that affair? Far from it. Instead, he uses his freedom to perpetrate a most blood-curdling crime. Namely, that of the attempted murder of his neighboring lodger, an innocent Englishman. To explain the circumstances of the crime, the prosecution calls its first witnesses to the stand. Oh, he's taking off the jacket right away. That's not concerning at all. Detective responsible for investigating the scene, and the accused himself. Or Natsume. Witnesses, your name and occupations, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. Why can't I speak right now? Soseki Natsume from the Empire of Japan. My government ordered me to come here as a student to study your language and culture. Mr. Natsume? Yes, my lord, sir! I'm quite sure I've not mistaken. That you swore an oath never to set foot in my courtroom again. I remember as if it were yesterday. The day before, in fact, my lord. Well, close enough. Believe me, this is the last place I want to be. Inspector, let's hear from you first. explain the case for the court. Right you are, sir. The incident occurred at the Gyarados household where the defendant has lodgings. In the ground floor room of the victim, Mr. William Shamspeare. The defendant has already admitted to visiting the victim on the night in question. Mr. Shamspeare collapsed in his room as a result of poisoning by strychnine? He was found the following morning where the landlord suspected something was wrong. Broke down the door. That means I presume that the door to the victim's room was blocked at the time of the incident. Correct, my lord. It was locked from the inside, making entry to or exit from the room impossible. Although the victim, Mr. Shamspeare, lives to tell the tale, he very nearly didn't. The man was halfway to heaven when we first found him. I was the first officer on the scene, my lord. And I have a photographic print here that I took at the time to show how it looked. Yes, a chilling— oh, it's his hat that was on the floor. Chilling scene indeed. The man looks very much deceased. That's right. Everyone present believes that that's exactly what he was. Very well, I shall accept this photographic print as evidence for the court. Do we have, like, a report of, like, what happened to him medically? So can I see this? There is a leak! There's a little water leak right there. Should I be concerned? Should we be concerned? That's also sealed up, and that's a little bit concerning. Other than that, nothing really strikes me. Now then, Mr. Natsume. Yes, yes, yes! As the defendant, do you have anything to say at this juncture? They're haunted. Haunted by evil spirits. Good gracious, what's haunted? They mentioned oil recently? They mentioned gas, they didn't mention oil. My lodgings! There's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings! The tenant before me died in mysterious circumstances. A woman was stabbed by no one on the street outside. My neighbor was poisoned! And me! What about me? I've nearly been killed countless times. Killed, Mr. Natsume? How? Even on that fateful night it happened, when I returned from Mr. Shamspeare's room. I lit my gas stove and climbed to bed. Before long. You know what? Is this carbon monoxide poisoning? Is this gas poisoning? So, this just kind of clicked into my head. They mentioned that it's like old pipes because they're in like a not so good neighborhood. And usually when I hear stories about you like hallucinate in your sleep or having weird happenings in your sleep, like you go to bed, you wake up, and all of a sudden you're seeing like written notes everywhere or things got moved around and you know no one's in there and you think someone's actually been there. It's because overnight, because of breathing in too much carbon monoxide that's leaking into your room, will cause you to have those hallucinations and all of those, like, not eccentric. Basically, you're doing actions without realizing it. And you're misremembering everything. So I'm wondering if this is the case here. Stove went out and someone tried to kill me! I'm gonna laugh if it is. I must always extinguish all fires before retiring for the night, Mr. Natsume. But it's so cold! My runny nose would freeze. The point is, I didn't poison my neighbor. Oh, why am I being accused of this? Why is my existence so cursed? Thank you, witnesses. I believe I have a reasonably clear picture of events. If I could raise one more point, my lord. One more conclusive point. Joseph, go on. Fortunately, the victim, Mr. Shamspeare, has regained consciousness after his ordeal. And he has named the true culprit. The point. The poison consumed by the victim was administered in a cup of tea that he drank on the night in question. tea, my lord, that was brought to the victim's room by the accused. Accused? Good grief! Order! Order! Yes, that's the crux of this whole case. Seki-san is innocent. But why? Why is the victim accused him? Well, Mr. Natsume, what have you to say to this accusation? That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamspeare's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night. I brought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result! Never will I touch tea again! Never! What pump was frozen, you say? That's not information we've heard before. That will do, thank you. Now, according to our laws, the defense must have the opportunity to cross-examine witnesses at least once. Therefore, I call upon these witnesses now for a formal testimony. I presume the prosecution has no objections. None whatsoever, my lord. Good. Then you will give your account of events on the night in question to the court now. Yeah. Yes, my lord! Oh, wait, hang on. My phone was dead this entire time. Oh, crap. My phone was dead this entire time. And my coworker said he was going. Oh, crap. I think Twitter's. My coworker was going to. Phone, are you okay? My phone's having like a rightful fit. Uh-oh, I think it just froze and crashed. Oh? Oh? Phone? This is a damn shame because I bought a phone to replace it, but it's having so many issues. And I'm like, fuck it, we'll just deal with this one because this one hasn't been doing any issues. And now it does this after it died. It ran out of battery earlier and I was having it charge on my computer. Maybe it's because of that. Am I good? I don't know anymore. Make sure this is working. Because it would be very problematic if something happened with my phone. Okay, now it's working. Should I be turned? Why do you do these things? Okay, it's working now. I don't know what the hell is going on. Anyways, moving forward. It was around 9 o'clock that evening when I visited my neighbor, and I took some tea with me as a gift. We had a heated literary debate over a nice hot drink, after which I went back to my room at around 11. Ah! My tea was completely harmless! He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise, could he? Strychnine takes some time to have an effect on the body. People don't keel over immediately after taking it. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. The argument still stands. Yes, I see. It all seems relatively straightforward. Excuse me, but that testimony does raise one rather crucial point, I think. Mr. Natsume claims his tea has been harmless. Presumably, though. Tea cups have been examined for traces of the poison, haven't they? Why didn't I think of that? Well, as it happens, no. We haven't been able to. Did I hear you correctly, Inspector? Scotland Yard has failed to examine the suspect's substance. How could you have overlooked something so important? Isn't that the first thing you should have done? Learned Nipponese friend is falsely incensed. The inspector said Scotland Yard was unable to examine the TD. Not that it was overlooked. Unable? Why? It's simple enough. There was none left. Not a drop. Someone must have been very thirsty indeed. There should be residue. With current scientific techniques, it's not possible to test for poison under such circumstance. You only need a drop, but that one drop does actually have to exist, funny enough. The lack of examination notwithstanding, it appears nothing other than the tea passed the victim's lips on the night in question. Thank you. Matter is clear. Your eyes over to jury, my learned friend. What? You can see it in their faces, I'm sure. The recognition of the accused's guilt. Your client's fate is all but sealed. In mere moments from now, you will lose, and your compatriot will be damned for all eternity. That's right. I can feel all 6 of the jurors looking daggers at me. But I can't let them beat me down. I won't. Counsel for the defense, proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord! I don't know what the fuck to do. Hold it! Why did you take tea? Were you and your neighbor good friends then? Ah! No! We weren't friends! Not at all! Not at all! Never! Ever! A simple no would have sufficed. Then, why did you decide to pay him a visit? Mr. Shamspeare fancies himself as having great literary knowledge. As a fellow scholar of English literature, we find much to talk about together. Come now, no Nipponese could understand the finer points of English literature. And on the night in question, that was the topic of conversation as well, I presume. It was the day of my last trial, when I was acquitted. I just arrived back in my lodgings. When I ran into Mr. Shamspeare outside on the street, that was at around 6 o'clock. We exchanged 1 or 2 pleasantries, but it soon turned to a heated discussion. He was on his way out at the time, though. So I promised to visit his room that evening at 9 to continue our debate. But did I have ill intentions? No! Not 1, not 2, not any, not at all! Never, ever! A simple no would have sufficed, I feel. And tell the court what did happen when you visited the victim's room. No, seriously, what am I supposed to point? What am I supposed to present? Hold it! A literary debate about Shakespeare's works, I think you said, didn't you? Shakespeare? Ah, very worthy topic of conversation, I must say. Oh, yes, my lord. Romeo and Juliet! Who was stronger? It was a profoundly pleasurable parley. Romeo and Juliet was stronger? Please, y'all, do not get into a fucking debate while we're in goddamn court. I know I'm gonna regret asking this, but how did the debate go? The only voice acting to yelling? At this point, yeah. Well, we both agreed that we would reach a conclusion more quickly with our reenactment. So we battled it out! In a Greco-Romeo style, naturally. What? Mr. Shamspeare had all sorts of costumes in his room for just such a contest. When you say a reenactment, you mean you were actually in costume? Did he reenact himself dying by poison? He is Romeo, I is Juliet, and after vigorous wild tussle, I, as Juliet, came out on top. A victory I'll cherish forever! I dare not imagine that terrible scene of carnage. The fact remains that it was you who prepared the tea and took it to the victim, correct? Well, the water in my room made a pot to take it with me. I heard that he was too poor to have tea himself, you see. It's true. There's no sense of any tea leaves in the man's room. I wanted to do something nice. To be friendly. So why does everyone look at me with such suspicion? My tea was harmless. Of course it was. And do you have any basis for that statement, witness? Anyone want to see the reenacted scene? I kinda do, yeah.
Hold it!
Yes, there was not a drop of tea left in the victim's room anywhere, was there? Wait! Wait, hang on, that wet spot in the picture, what if that's not a leak? What if that's the fucking tea? There's no shot, that can't be the tea, right? Correct? Anyone would think the fella had never had a pot of tea before. He must have licked it dry. Which is a pity, because one drop is all we would have needed to analyze for poison. You say that you've returned home to your room at 11 o'clock, mister, right? Yes, definitely. By heaven and earth, I swear it. The landlord was able to verify that. As it happens, he confirms that the defendant went back to his room at 11 that night. And how was the landlord able to attest to this? He, said it was the lamps, I believe. The lamps, Inspector? When tenants return to their rooms and start using gas, the lamps in other parts of the house flicker. Yes, Mr. Gerdev seems to pay a lot of attention to the comings and goings of his tenants. There's only one key to Mr. Shamspeare's room. I know that for certain. So he must have locked the door himself from inside his room. The victim has confirmed that to be the case, yes. So I'm right! My tea was harmless, completely harmless! If you take poison, you die. Everyone knows that! It's not that simple, I'm afraid. What do you mean? This poor man's about to have a goddamn stroke, I swear. Wait, hang on. Sorry, one of the other folks in the model Discord is gushing out about all the customizables, and I think it's great. Oh god. Hang on, I need to stretch my back. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up on mic. Let's see. Nope, that's one. Oh no, can we not? No! I can't crack the other one. No! Okay, it's fine. If I'm uncomfortable, so be it.
Hold it!
How long does it take for symptoms to appear then? According to the coroner I was speaking to at the yard, about 30 minutes after the poison is consumed. And the victim suffers violent convulsions, cramping, and stiffness, and eventually dies from asphyxiation. Though there's a 30-minute interval between when the poison is ingested and the onset of symptoms. There seems to be a lot of different types of poison in the world, that's for sure. Oh dear. By poisoning again. It's always so awful when I continue to just stroke on my spit. 30 minutes is a long time. Certainly long enough for the victim to have locked the door behind the accused after he left. Can't deny that. And it further degrades Taseki-san's alibi, not ability. I have the medical report from the doctor who examined the victim here, my lord. It spells out, really. The accused is the only person who could have done it. Very well. The court will add this report to the court record as evidence. Give it to me. Give me. ingestion of a small quantity of strychnine. Toxic effects present 30 minutes after ingestion. High likely of the substance being mixed with the tea the victim was drinking when the sample could be taken for testing. The poisoning incident occurs at around 1:30 a.m. on the 21st February. Assessed from the victim's pocket watch, it appears to have broken when the man collapsed after delayed onset of symptoms. So if he, that's a 2-hour window. Great. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door if his guest left. The argument still stands.
Hold it!
The argument still stands, you say? This is what Mr. Natsume's been saying, isn't it? The pair of them drank tea together that night, so if there was poison in it, the victim would have been able to lock the door after the accused left later on. Exactly! Me and my tea are innocent! Sweet and innocent, I tell you! I'm afraid, sir, that doesn't follow. You see, strychnine is slow-acting poison. In other words, it takes time for symptoms to appear. So you could have left the room up to 30 minutes after the victim drank the tea. And as long as you didn't that, Mr. Shamspeare could have locked the door after you've gone. But no! We drank the tea straight away! The battle over whether Romeo and Juliet was stronger that came after the tea. Do you have any evidence to support that statement? In my great homeland, the Empire of Japan, we have a saying. Drink tea while it's hot! Sure. The proverb will satisfy the prosecution. I'm afraid there's no conclusive proof to support the defense's assertion. On the contrary, there are sufficient grounds to infer his guilt in this matter. No. That's the extent of their testimony, is it? If I could voice a personal opinion, Mr. Naruhodo. Of course, go ahead. Mr. Natsume is arguing for his innocence so adamantly and so persistently. Yet Inspector Gregson just brushes what he says aside. It's really quite infuriating. Agree. So we need to find an inconsistency in what the inspector is saying, I think. Afraid so. As things stand, the jurors are sure to find Mr. Natsume guilty. I see it. What we need to focus on is the poison and the tea. Let's listen carefully to his testimony again. Well, I have the medical report. The problem is, what the fuck do I... Hold on, I'm saving. Cause like, there's no doubt.
Objection!
Okay, oh, cause I'm trying to find an inconsistency. I guess the inconsistency is a point still stands. Argument still stands, you say? I think not, Inspector. Come again. I think you'll find that you've overlooked a very significant chronological inconsistency here. Chrono what? What are you on about? According to this report, the victim must have consumed the poison at around 1:30 in the morning. And yet, defendant Mr. Natsume left the victim's room at 11. Yes, that's right. There's more than 2 hours of missing time there. In other words, if there was poison in the tea that Mr. Natsume brought to the victim's room, how could the victim have fallen ill to it 2.5 full hours after the defendant left? Why did you both? Why did you both? They used the same animation. The defense's argument is entirely reasonable. How do you respond, Lord Von Zeeks? Oh, here's the chalice. Here's the chalice. Here's the grape juice. You're not gonna throw it, are you? Pray forgive the discourtesy if my mind has wandered. I was considering what cuisine would be best complement to the contents of my hallowed chalice this luncheon. How could it have happened? You asked? Oh, he's just gonna break it. That's such a waste. I do hate to shatter illusions, but my Nipponese friend appears to be chasing the phantom idea. Is he allowed to drink while in court? Who the fuck knows? He's not allowed to put his boots on the counter either, but he still does it. A phantom? This is so hard to imagine that the victim drank his tea after the accused has left. For example, at the time stated in the medical report. Yes, at around 1:30.
Objection!
Mr. Natsume brought the tea with him to drink together with his neighbor. And in Japan, there is a well-known saying, drink tea while it's hot.
Objection!
You're just mimicking his fucking words. And in my country, there is an even more apt saying. There's nothing more refreshing than cold tea. The point is, if there was such a long gap, there may be other ways to explain how the victim came to be poisoned. What are possibilities? What are possibilities, Counsel? He doesn't know. He doesn't fucking know. Well, for example, the man could have had another visitor. Another visitor? That's a very bold assertion, my learned friend. Someone who has nothing to substantiate it. Or, the victim could have taken the poison of his own volition. You suggest this may have been a suicide, Counsel?
Objection!
Mr. Shamspeare has categorically denied suicide. The idea can and must be discounted.
Objection!
Noodles. But he could be lying. Is something wrong, Lord Von Zieks? I was listening to the sound of carriage pulling up outside the courtroom. Pray, forgive the discourtesy. Carriage? What carriage? It would seem that the key player in this case has just arrived. Out! Brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. Oh my fucking god! A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. God, he's so blindingly bright. It is a tale, told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Who, sir, are you? William Shamspeare, my lord. Alas, 'twas I, undone by those bitter events. I am the victim. What? What is he doing here? Oh my god, he brought his scepter and everything. The prosecution seeks to call this gentleman to the stand. With his testimony, my learned friend's futile resistance will be utterly crushed. You're calling him as a witness? Very well, counsel. I grant your request with interest. I'm curious to discover what the court shall hear from the victim himself. Happy I am, Shamspeare, to regale thee with my tale of woe, my lord. But I still have my own tale to tell. My tale to tell. My own tale of worse woe. I can regale the court with the tale of my perfect innocence in perfect English. That will do, Mr. Natsume. Let the court now hear from the victim. God, I fucking hate to hear you. Can I just punch him in his face? What are you doing here? What is he doing here? Alright, so that's Mr. Shamspeare. But who is that other man beside him? Yes, I think. I feel sure that we've caught a glimpse of that man before. State your names and occupations for the court, please, witnesses. A writer of words so sweet, they too sent the breeze, an inventor of ideas so profound, they composed the earth. The unrivaled poet, the unmatched scribe, William Shakespeare. What a great bard to be recalled to life anew! Lo, what a magnificent man. Good fellows, I am he who ponders such a miracle, William Shamspeare. Oh, the name's Meter Man. Why? 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 I hate this game so much. Adron B. Meterman. I work for you, Altamont Gas Company, East End Branch Office. Ah, I remember now. It was yesterday on Pryor Road. Oh yes, she's right, it's him. Yeah, he looks like a bee because of his backpack and his yellow attire and his little scarf for wings. He's a little bee. Fucking Meter Man. Bye. You're gonna be right, it's gonna be carbon monoxide. First two parts feel like clever puns, the last name feels like a distinct lack of imagination, or callback to where people's last names are stuff like Smith or Miller because it was just their job. Yes, we spotted him outside Mr. Garadev's house that morning. And he's a gas company employee? What does he have to do with this case? So, Mr. William Shamspeare, you are the victim in this miserable affair, correct? Oh, heaven! Oh, hell! Do you command me to remember? That sweet poison that did cross mine innocent lips. I subpoenaed him for the trial. With his doctor's permission, naturally. Hearing the testimony of the aggrieved will remove any room for doubt from the jurors' minds, I'm sure. Behold, you have only to rearrange the letters of my name to see that me is a seraph, an angel indeed. Thus I be noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of art, as all heavenly angels be. Because there isn't a less contrived meaning in your name. No, not at all. Wait, that's where his last names came from. Please don't break Rob's brain. She's trying so hard to keep up right now. The juror seems to be very moved by this man, I'm afraid. You're actually taking the seraph anagram idea seriously. Thank you, witnesses, for your illuminating introductions. But my lord, what's the man next to Mr. Shamspeare doing here? Gas man, I mean. What? Me? Well, now. Allow me to enlighten my learned friend. You recall, I presume, your earlier impertinence. When you suggested that the victim had a visitor to his room on the night in question. And moreover, that the victim is a compulsive liar. What? No, I didn't quite say that. This young chin stroker here is... You can controvert your wild claims conclusively. Is that not so, Mr. Meterman? Eh? Hang on, no, I'm just here. I hereby call for your formal testimonies. You will tell the court as lucidly as possible what happened on the night in question. One may smile and be a villain. Yes, it doth pain me, but let the truth be spoken, the truth of that wintry night of my discontent. I just really want to punch him in his smug ass face. snow laid about. My neighbor did cometh in the evening, bearing a gift of tea. But Mary, bitter was his drink, and when he left, I did fall prostrate on my table. Was the tea alone that passed my lips that late hour, naught else. I was outside this bloke's window in the freezing cold all night, keeping an eye on his room. No one else visited his room but that short little round back Eastern fella. Why were you outside? Wait, what did you say? You were keeping an eye on Mr. Shamspeare's room all night? That's right. Of course, the bloke's window's all but blocked up, isn't it? But there's a little gap in the bricks where you can see into the room. I spent that night trying to keep my teeth from chattering as it peered in through that. The question is, sir, why? Ah! Well now, that's because he's on my list. What a piece of work is a man. Wherefore wouldst thou not stare in wonderment? What are you talking about? This buzzing busybody hath not part in this play. I pray thee, pay him no heed, make no more ado his tedious words. What did he say about me? Calm yourself. This court is concerned with what happened on the night in question. Nothing more. Indeed, that is so. And, as the testimonies we have just heard clearly reveals, there was no one other than the accused present at the time who could have carried out this crime. Well, I believe this may be the final testimony of the trial. Now, counsel, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord. Like that stained glass look. But it was his tea when he left. I did fall prostrate on my table. Well, when was this?
Hold it!
Let me stop you there. Mr. Natsume left your room at 11 o'clock, but it wasn't until after 2 that the poison made you collapse. That amounts to more than 3 hours of missing time. Hang on, I gotta DM Nate. Nate, here he is. Nate. What in God's good graces? Shamspeare. And why is he allowed to live? The only other person I know who's played this game is Nate. And I've been begging him to try and play this game, because we never knew if it was gonna be translated. Then it got translated. I think he played, I don't remember if he played it then or before, but literally he's the only person who I know played this game. And he has been wanting me to play the second game for a really long time, and I'm like, I'm trying, buddy. Hold on one moment. I made a mistake of going into this Discord. So now I'm going to link stuff because people need help. Oh. Copy. Okay. Azzy! What the hell is this thing that I'm staring at, Azzy? Can I kill it? Can I kill it, please? I don't want this thing in my room anymore. If the defendant had really put the poison in your tea, a 3-hour window of time is something you're gonna have to explain. Gladly. 'Tis an easy task. What? I did drink of the tea, not while my guest did tarry, but after he took leave of me. Faith, 'twas stone cold, but at 1 hour post midnight, early were my lips parched.
Objection!
Oh, why does he have to fucking move like that? Huh? What? Oh? Wait, what did you delete? Did I say the word delete? I don't think I said the word delete. I just want you to get rid of the thing that I'm staring at right now. The motherfucking Shamspeare over here. Wait. Wait! What? Hang on. I gotta see. What did you guys do? What did you fuckers do? I can't tell from this. Oh my god, you did delete. How the fuck did you delete that? Can I do it? Wait, can I even do it? Hold on. Sorry, this is like important. This is stupid important for no reason whatsoever. There is a mod. Isn't there like a mod audit? Your chat history, toggle follower. No. Am I stupid? Hold on. Activity feed, stream. There was a thing. We could check. Chat. Wait. There's Windows. Mod actions. Yeah, it just says that you deleted the message for some fucking reason. How the fuck did you do it? How did you do it? Well, you better hide your emotes, y'all, because he's gonna delete the. Why the fuck did that even happen? Oh, I'm gonna fucking. Oh my god. Okay. After double checking the last name, thing turns out that while some of the Smiths come from the profession, many also come from village names, the way Leonardo da Vinci. Some people came from Smithyville or some stuff like that, and it's gotten short and changed to Smith over time. Anyways. Nay, 'tis quite ordinary, sire. Raw. Thou wouldst recall our fiery debate. Amidst such argument, there be no time for fiery tea. Romeo and Juliet again. And who was stronger? Mr. Shamspeare, in summary, allow me to confirm. You do not come here with the intention of naming your attacker. But of course, my liege, was the stooped love of words to attempt to shuffle me off this mortal coil. We all know what that means. Hide your kids, hide your wives, hide your emos, because Azzy's after all of them.
Hold it!
Listen, I showed her a your character here email that I want to get in the future, and I'm looking at it being like, he's gonna want this. I send it to her. She's like, yes, give it to me. Because she would absolutely use it. Not even for its intended purposes either. She would just use it against me. So you didn't have any kind of evening meal, dinner, supper? Ha! Fie on luxury, fie on gluttony! To eat thrice a day is but a waste of time. Right? I would that my belly were full. No more often the sun doth rise. What the fuck are you? Oh, most heroic eating habits, I must say. Night and day do I fill my hours with learned study on the great bard and playwright. Hence it is that doth not in my chamber be a fucking, I hate old and English, yo. My chamber be the costumes of mine art. Would appear to be the case, as even a rodent would be found starved to death in your room. If you think of Fulgor, the guy from Zatch Bell. Ah. Now I got this song stuck in my head. How fucking dare you? Now I think about it, it's not just food that was conspicuously missing from that room, is it? I don't recall seeing a single player script anywhere. Or I have devoured them. Huh? You've eaten them? Every word be writ within my skull. Didst thou imagine otherwise? Hey, let's dance all day. Yes, but I also know the Japanese variant that was just literally talking about boobies. I'm not kidding, you can go look it up. Right, that wasn't misleading at all. Now, could you turn around, do you think? Which brings us to the conclusion that the only way the poison could have passed the victim's lips is in the tea. Outside this book's window freezing cold and they keep not on.
Hold it!
But why? But the windows of that house have all been filled in. A historical artifact of the now defunct window tax. Yeah, you're right there. All bricked up horribly. But as it happens, there's a little part of the brickwork at the bottom corner that's been opened up. I was looking in through that gap. Yes, there were a few bricks loose, weren't there? And for some strange reason, a couple of bars of soap lined up on the ledge outside as well. I don't like going around poking my chin in other people's business, especially on freezing cold nights. But them's my orders, so that's what I'll keep doing, as long as there's breath in me body. What's with all the theatricals today? Out of interest, Mr. Meaterman, after the accused is left and returned to his lodgings, did you see the victim leave the room at all? No! He never left! He was in that room the whole time as far as I'm concerned. And we can therefore discount the possibility of suicide. How can you be so sure of that? The police carried out a thorough investigation of the scene and found no receptacle for the poison. And since we know the victim didn't leave his room and hence didn't dispose of the poison's container himself, it's clear that this was no attempt suicide. Only the culprit could have removed the receptacle. I must go, but you got this. Alright, Rops, thanks for stopping by. Ah yes, lucidly explained, Counsel, thank you. It really was. You can't argue with the logic. No one else visit? Yeah.
Hold it!
You say a short little round-backed eastern fella. You can't be sure it was the defendant then.
Objection!
How many other short little round-backed Nipponese with a mustache do you think there are in London? Well, of course, it's only a narrow gap and it was quite dark, so I didn't notice the mustache. But he showed up at around 9, so I'm pretty sure of myself. When the person you saw arrived, did he and Mr. Shamspeare drink tea together? Nah, sorry. I couldn't say. Why not? Because I couldn't see into the room all that well, could I? But what I did see was the silhouette of that little round-backed fellow wearing a pretty dress. Then the pair of them started some kind of wrestling match, I tell ya. I didn't know what to make of it. I suppose that was the Romeo and Juliet championship battle getting underway. Mr. Meaterman, allow me to confirm one final time. Apart from the accused, can you state with certainty that no one else visited the victim on the night in question? No question! Gasman's honor! Oh my god, you actually want me to find a contradiction in here? That's the entire testimony. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, I can't see any obvious holes at all, to be honest. Oh dear. If no one else visited Mr. Shamspeare's room that night, apart from Mr. Natsume, I imagine the members of the jury will all conclude the same thing. Right, that he's guilty. Well, all we can do is press these witnesses for more information. I did! Did I not? This one? Let me stop you there. Mr. Natsume left your room at 11 o'clock, but it wasn't until after 2. Oh no, I already. Did that not press the first statement? Oh, this. Maybe I didn't do this. So, you didn't have any kind of... Oh, no. God damn it!
Hold it!
Okay, I guess I didn't press the first one. To be clear, by neighbor, you're referring to defendant Mr. Natsume. Oh, indeed, sire. Perchance thou wouldst call that I call him the man from upstairs? And at what time did the mustachio Nipponese visit you in your room? Our meeting was promised for the hour of 9, and lo, did he come to tender a gift of fragrant tea. Details which are in accordance with the defendant's own testimony, yes. And we were embroiled in such a literary debate as history hath not seen before. By which I presume he means their discussion about who was stronger, Romeo or Juliet. I, Shamspeare, did play the part of young Romeo, whilst my neighbor played the fair Juliet. Each of us dressed as would our characters be, to bring weight upon our merry experiment. I dare not imagine the scene. Frailty. Thy name is woman. Can thou imagine how dismayed I was? Yes, I have heard of the Eastern art of jujitsu, but ne'er did I dream 'twould be a skill practiced by the commonly maiden. Really, you beat Romeo up? That is not helping our case. I believe the court has heard enough about your earth-shattering literary debate. Perhaps you could reiterate your statement about the tea that the accused brought to your room. My liege, I am thy servant. Gladly I will do thy bidding. Nope. Is that not to me yelling? No? Oh, it's yours. My lord! Goodness me, yes, Mr. Foreman? I've kept my mouth shut and listened to up to now, but this has gone on long enough. Are you all with me? Yes. Are we to understand that you ladies and gentlemen of the jury are in agreement with one another? That you've reached a unanimous decision? Too right we have. Are you all with me? Yes. Wait, no! The defense is in the middle of cross-examination! To be honest, I was holding out a bit of hope for you, young man. Especially after you identified those few hours that followed the accused leaving the victim's room. Yes, the 3 missing hours, as you put it. But in the end, what difference do they make? None as far as I can see. And since now that's apparent, there's really no reason to delay your decision any longer. Like I was saying, if I don't take 5 bob home with me tonight, the missus will blow her top. What's that? Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said. Very well. Let the court be apprised of your decisions. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your lenience as to the defense's culpability.
Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
seriously, who is this improper lady down there? A fly. Yeah, there's a fly. Where is he? Hey, little fly. Am I just hallucinating a fly now? It might be. I don't know where he was here. No. Well, it appears that the jury is indeed unanimous. So, this time at least it seems justice will be done. All's well that ends well, as they say. This calls for a toast, I feel. The guilty being punished. Bye, Ryunosuke. He's a little bee. Get up, Mr. Naruhodo, please. The trial isn't over yet. What do you mean, Mrs. Sato? About the information I found in this encyclopedia of British law I have. An obscure right that belongs to defense in these situations. Remember? Summation examination. Yes, that's right. We don't have a jury in Japanese courts, of course. Here in a British court of law, if we can reverse the decisions of the majority of the jurors, we can force the trial to continue. This trial can't end now. Whatever it takes, I just can't let that happen. Defense moves to invoke its right to a summation examination, my lord. Why am I not surprised at my learned Nipponese friend's inability to admit defeat? Chose to cling desperately to some archaic rule that you barely comprehend instead of accepting the truth. Certainly no other defense counselor in recent times have exercised the right to a summation examination. Because they all know that once the juror's mind is set, it cannot be altered. Nevertheless, the right remains and must be upheld. Defense counsel's request is granted. This court will proceed with a summation examination as outlined in the Encyclopedia of British Law. Thank you, my lord. Are you and your fellows prepared, Mr. Foreman? Believe me, my lord, we know all about this young lad's tenacity. And we're ready for it. Very well. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby call upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime for which he stands accused. The victim may not be well off, but he's a noble man, and straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man. Well, I do declare the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid. Just look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and has a mustache. Very fishy. There's no evidence to suggest the gangling actor is a fraudsman. For now, at least. I really don't care, I just need this trial to end quickly. 3 hours of missing time is nothing when you've reached my age, you know? Nothing at all. Knew it. Every single one of them seems completely convinced. It will seem that all jurors have come to the conclusion that Mr. Shamspeare is a fine, upstanding, and honest citizen. If you ask me, they've all been bewitched by his strange theatrical movements. This and the Dance of Deduction are probably my favorite additions to the franchise. I love the Dance of Deduction. I'm really sad we don't have more of those right now. We need more! It doesn't have to be Sholmes. It has to be someone as dumb as Sholmes. And sadly, nothing Mr. Natsume has said appears to have registered at all. Oh, here goes. Let's not forget. We did with the jury on Soseki-san's behalf before, and it worked. So you never know. Before we begin, it might be an idea for me to remind you exactly how summation examination works, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh. Well, you're still very new to British law after all. It's true, I suppose. Soseki-san's fate is entirely in my hands now. There's always a chance I might have forgotten some crucial detail. Perhaps I should hear Son out. I wonder, should I let her talk to me? No! I know how to do this. Thank you for the kind offer, Mrs. Zato. But I've been through plenty of these summation examinations already now. I think it's important that we don't delay the start any longer than necessary. Of course, I understand. And I'm quite sure you're right. If you're confused by anything at any point, you can turn to me for advice whenever you like. I'll be here for you. Imagine Phoenix doing the dance of seduction with Gumshoe. Don't do this to me, yo. The key to this is really listening carefully. The key to this is really listening carefully to each juror's statement. Finding two that are contradictory and pitting the corresponding jurors against each other. Without further ado, please, counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Yes, my lord. Oh my god, just look at his stupid ass face down there. Oh, this is gonna be...
Hold it!
This is gonna be... really a pain. Bronzeman? What do you mean by that, ma'am? It really is the most tiresome problem for the company. Most irritating. Are you the gas lady? We can be absolutely certain that a customer is stealing from us, but without hard evidence. We can't even threaten to take action for fear of being sued. I'm sorry, you've lost me a little there. Who are you? I'm the wife of Augustus Altamont, owner of the Altamont Gas Company. Good gracious, Altamont Gas, you say? Gas is the future of energy in this country, around the world, and around the globe. Proper handling is essential. As I'm sure our employee from the East Branch office would be the first to agree. Absolutely, Lady Lady Kimby. Gotta be used properly. Altamont Gas is the best in the world, of course. I hate it here. I think we may have solved the mystery of the bow from earlier, Mr. Naruhodo. Right, he bowed in deference to his employer's wife, did he? Ah, so, would I be right in assuming that the reason Mr. Meaderman was watching what Mr. Shamspeare was up to in his room? I'm afraid there's no end to the lengths the population of the East End will go in order to steal our gas. Oh, I really have no choice when the company identifies somebody as a possible fraudsman. But to dispatch a worker to watch the suspect day and night. We're very thorough in our investigations. So you mean Mr. Shamspeare is... I wouldn't come out and say it in public. But you can finish that sentence with a grubby little gas thief. You hadn't noticed the public gallery in here, have you? The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. Fate, wouldst thou wound me with thy words, were I to let them penetrate the skin? But seraphs hear not ear insults, only choirs of angels in song. We may not have the evidence yet, but my workers won't stop buzzing around you until they find it. And when they do, you'll find yourself blasted back to your angelic heights in an ultimate gas explosion. Mr. Shamspeare's been stealing gas. I wonder, juror number 4, if you wouldn't mind adding that information to your statement? My pleasure. Was it the bit about ripping that thief apart you enjoyed? little before the part about object violence, if it's not too much trouble. Yes, of course. This could be it. This could shift the balance. She is angry.
Objection.
What? 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 My lord, as foreman of the jury, I must object. What? Being their leader, it's my duty to stand up for all jurors here present, and stand up for them I will. I concur with the foreman, counsel. I warn you. I shan't abide any pettifoggery. Though you've got your facts straight, keep your pointy fingers to yourself. But it was correct. Was it not supposed to do you? Was it supposed to do a lady next to you? I am trying, Susato. What the fuck do you mean? I understand how to do a summation examination. Shut your goddamn face. This is a valid argument. Whatever. I'm gonna hate this game. Oh shoot.
Hold it!
Well, there are plenty of people in London who seem noble but poor. Couldn't some of them also be liars? I've no doubt about it. Like that shaky client of yours, for example. Absolutely not. Mr. Natsume is no liar. Multiple choice quiz where more than one answer is right, but one is the most correct. Fuck that noise. Look, the point is, the only thing that passed the victim's lips that night was that Japanese man's tea. When you take that gas man's testimony into account as well, the truth couldn't be any clearer. Ah, well, that's alarmingly logical. But let me be frank here. I'm a gentleman with a gentleman's values. If it turns out that the old Shakespeare chum is a rotten liar after all, I'd be gladly change my decision about the defendant. And I'm sure my fellow gentlemen on the jury would do the same. Isn't that right? Well, yes, perhaps, though I don't see it happening. Eh? What's that? Elderly gent on the end here, you know? You'll have to speak up. Look, I really don't care about all this nonsense. I just need this trial to be over. How many gentlemen do we actually have in the jury then? Alright, sir. I may hold on to you for that. Don't forget what he said. Oh my fucking god. I hate this game.
Objection.
I hate this game so much. Those two statements clearly contradict with each other. Good gracious! To whose statements do you refer, counsel? Juror number 1. Huh? What are you yelling about, lad? I presume you heard juror number 4's statement, made by the wife of the owner of the Altabont gas. Well, yes. The victim, who you claim to be a noble, straight-up man, in fact, turns out to be a common thief. So the good lady says, but there's no evidence, is there? You and I both heard them say as much. It's true. We don't have the evidence as such, yet. The claims aren't baseless, you know. What? You heard me. Venus's operation has already been compromised. I would suggest that the court hears testimony from our East End branch office employee over there. I'll do whatever you say, my lady. Gasman's honor. Juror number 1. You say you're a man of your word. If I could show that Mr. Shamspeare was a liar, you would assure me that you would reconsider your decision about the defendant's guilt. Yes, I did say that. And as a man of honor, I'll hold to it. As I'm sure the other gentlemen of the jury will. Me? Oh, well, yes. Now that we found out the man's a liar, perhaps we ought to consider the matter further. Well, if I'm perfectly honest, I haven't heard half of what you've all been saying. So if that means you'll recap a few points, that would suit me down to the ground. Oh no, I'm not having any part of this. I want this trial over and done with. In that case, I shall change my leaning. So, Mr. William Shamspeare, if that is your real name, we of the jury demand to know exactly what kind of man you really are. Fucking hate this, yo. I hate this game so fucking much. That's 4 jurors. 4 for not guilty. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo? Victory! Oh, so quick, though. Order! Order! Well, this is quite extraordinary, I must say. As a result of defense examination, the jury's lenience changed. Not only 2 jurors say guilty, while 4 say not guilty. I therefore declare this court to be in a state of disaccord, and order the trial to continue. Fonzix is gonna be angry. You have spoiled the bouquet, just Shamspeare. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury now find that they are unable to trust you, the victim. Don't do the monkey see, monkey do bullshit. What do you gods will give us? Some faults to make us men. Though gods mend me, I do swear. Scotsman speaketh that which concerns him most. Not but gas, not but thin air. Aye, it burneth bright while, but it has no substance, and it does reek foul. Oi! What did you say? I take it, Mr. Shamspeare, that you deny the allegations of gas thievery. Most heartily, my lord, hast thou forgot? I am as a seraph, an angel. Noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily, honest of heart. Ah! You flattery-mouthed, pompous beanpole! Just 'cause I haven't got the evidence yet! Mr. Shamspeare, if in fact you are not noble of mind, sweet of nature, honest of heart, if you are a liar, then your testimony should have no sway in this courtroom. It is my considered opinion that at the present time, no other possible culprit of the crime has been identified. All testimonies heard by the court thus far heavily implicates the defendant. In short, it would not be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule out the case. Oh no. However, in light of the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of this witness, I believe it would be inappropriate for this court not to pursue the point further.
Objection!
I assure you, my lord, that would be a waste of the court's time. The gas and this case are unrelated. Juror number 4. Yes? Didn't you say before that although you had no hard evidence to prove this man has been stealing gas, you have strong grounds for suspecting him? That's right, we do. Don't we, worker? Absolutely, Lady Quimby. Gasman's honor. Very well then. We will hear your testimony now. You will tell the court precisely why you believe the victim, Mr. William Shamspeare, has been stealing gas. Yes, my lord, it'll be my pleasure. On the ultimate gas name, I swear. If I may, my lord. Go ahead, madam. This worker's testimony may have significance bearing on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I should like to take the stand alongside him in a supervisory role, if you wouldn't mind. Woohoo! Oh yeah, sweet as honey! Yeah! Very well, as an exception, I shall honor your request. Thank you, my lord. You wait till the boss gives you an earful! Ooh, it's gonna sing, you mark my words! No, you will both testify before the court on the subject of the illegal consumption of the Ultimate Gas Company's fuel. Yes. Is that clear, my good man? Clear as Ultimate Gas, my lady. Which is the clearest in the world. You think the gas has gone to his head, Mrs. Otto. I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Mr. No. I'm proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter money collection agent. Ultimate gas meters accept threepenny bits, each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. And yet, the meter in Mr. Shamspeare's room didn't have a single coin in it. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agency has the only key. Somehow, he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny. If that's not thieving, what is? Pray forgive the discourtesy. The irrelevance of this testimony caused me to turn to my hallowed chalice. What do you mean by that remark, Lord Von Zeeks? Did a mustachio Nipponese poison the gangling excuse for an actor, or didn't he? That is all that should be concerned in this court, and yet now we must listen to this. Warrants. Clearly what separates the vast British Empire and your Eastern Island nations more than geographical distance. But this could turn out to be a crucial testimony! The cross-examination must go ahead. Oh! Bye. Do what you will. Lord Von Zeeks appears to be in a violent mood. Yes, he does. Attempted poisoning. Incident of gas thief with no supporting evidence. It's true that they would appear completely unrelated at first glance. I wonder, the truth tends to be buried in the most unusual places. And the first step in uncovering it will be to establish just who and what this man really is. Okay. You.
Hold it!
Out of interest, how long has this been going on? Weeks and weeks! He's been pinching gas off of for ages! And you've examined the meter in Mr. Shamspeare's room, I take it? Naturally, we took it off the wall and went over it with a fine-toothed comb. And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume? No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demanded a new type of meter to be produced. One with an indestructible lock, the Shamspeare Special. That sounds like it would have cost an awful lot of 3-penny pieces. Even after all that, the rascal's meter was still empty. I'll never forget the humiliation. When I opened up the money box and found a bear. You what? I said, you what? And the look on his face, that smartly smile of his. Oh, you know what's probably happening? I wonder if Mr. Gardev is taking the money out of the boxes. I pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. But you know what? Nothing. Not a trace of being jimmied open anywhere. Not a single sign. And what happened to my salary as a result? Down by 3 shillings a day, that's what. Life-threatening situation in a number of ways. Incidentally, what became of the meter? Nothing became of it. I've still got it. Right here. No wonder they call you Meter Man. I think it would be prudent for the court to sequester this item while the trial is ongoing. Let me just check. I wish to look at it. There's a wax. A very sturdy looking paddle, isn't it? Or padlock. And the money box is sealed with beeswax too. If Mr. Sholmes were to get up to any mischief, he'd be found out immediately. Mr. Naruto, mischief that kind is not the sort of thing that Mr. Sholmes would... You know you didn't finish that sentence, don't you? Well, anyway, it's understandable that the gas company would want to safeguard the money that's rightfully theirs. It does feel a little over the top, perhaps, doesn't it? Oh? Oh, what's... You spotted something, Mr. Naruhodo? Just here, there's a little hole. Do you see it? Goodness, you're right! I wouldn't have noticed. Not a very neat hole, is it? Not professionally made, I'd say. So you think it might have been opened up by Mr. Shamspeare? Possibly. It seems people at Ultimate Gas must have missed it. Well, it certainly seems to go all the way through the inside. Yes, but there's no way a coin could fit through there. It's true. Even so, it seems more than a little suspicious. Otherwise... There's something else suspicious about it. Well, at first glance, there doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it. Let's move this along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. Though I would say it has as much value as the contents of that meter. I'd like to differ.
Objection!
Lady Altamont, I'm afraid to say that this meter clearly does show signs of having been tampered with. What? Get away! I've been over and over that thing! I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it! In that case, what do you have to say about the small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box? Hole? What? You're right! You're quite right! There is a little hole there! Meters aren't supposed to have that! None of the others do! In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shamspeare secretly opened up this hole himself. Yes, I wouldn't be at all surprised. But why? Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny! You couldn't get a farthing through there! Lady Altamont, I wonder if you could give the court some more details about your meter design. What sort of details? Well, what I specifically like to know is... how does the meter tell the difference between different coins? What do you mean? Well, for example, if someone were to put in a 1 penny coin, that wouldn't work presumably, would it? No, of course not. Oh well, how does the meter know that the coin's been fed is a threepenny bit? Ah, I see what you're getting at now. The meter tells coins apart by their shape and size, which includes their thickness. A threepenny bit is about 3/4 of an inch to a diameter, you see. Other coins just won't fit. I see. They've been well thought out. The witness will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it is pertinent. As you wish, my lord. Coins exact. Oh, I think I understand. I wonder if he's been using bars of soap and then he's been soaking the box in water so that the soap would disappear. Or no, because he's freezing the soap and therefore it would thaw out, which means it would get condensation, get water, and then yeah. Wait, but how do I... Yeah, I can use this. Oh, look at this bar of soap. It's a circular depression on the side, about 2 centimeters across. Or 3/4 of an inch. Do you think? We did find the soap at the scene, didn't we? Yes, there were 2 bars on that little ledge just outside a window. So we took this one. I'm not sure that when we first found it. Some sort of reddish medallion in the middle there, I remember it clearly. Yes, but there's no sign of it now. Where would it have gone?
Objection!
Let me just confirm something here. If the diameter and thickness were to be correct, the meter would accept any object as if it were a threepenny a bit. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating Mr. Shamspeare's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly. I think the same size as the threepenny bit. What was it? The item in question is this. What? Have you been inhaling gas? That's a bar of soap! It certainly looks nothing like a threepenny bit, I must say. It looks like I'm gonna have to point out exactly what it means here. What's important about the soap is this part. Turn it over.
Got it!
You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean. Are you referring to that round depression in the middle of the soap there? That's right. Depression that's approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or in other words, almost exactly the same size as the threepenny bit. Get away! Does anyone here present have in their possession a threepenny bit? Quickly now, hand over your coins, ladies and gentlemen. It sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it? Thanks to a kind member of the public in the gallery, I have here a threepenny bit. Now to see if it fits. My word! It could be more snug! Yes, as I suspected, this, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the Ultimate Gas Company is being defrauded. Well, I don't believe it. Oh, her dress is so pretty! So, your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar of soap has a tentative connection to the theft of gas? Yes. The pressure in the soap was clearly made by a threepenny bit. I must concur, at least, that pushing a coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap such as this. Oh, he made it with a. Yeah, he made. Oh God, how do I word this? He made a mold. He made a mold from the soap bar, and how he's been doing it. He's been using water or some liquid to pour into that soap bar, freezing it in the winter nights, and then taking it out and using those. And then eventually, when it's all said and done, it melts away. It melts away, and there be none the wiser. You could use, well, some melted wax or something to pour into that mold. You could make fake coins in no time. Brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. The method Mr. Shamspeare has been using to steal the gas. That's a missing link. And now if I follow the chain of thought, it's going to bring me to a new explanation for what happened that nobody's considered yet. But this is all nonsense. If the man has been making fake coins, my worker here would have found them when he emptied the meter. Quite true, Lady Ultimate. The absence of some black magic that could make them disappear. Let's see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? There is one form of black magic that could cause the fake coins to disappear into thin air, yes. Exactly. And the meter here gives it away. What on earth? There are remnants of the magical method used visible on the gas meter taken from the victim's room. If that is your assertion, counsel, the defense will identify these remnants for the court at once. I guess it's just a hole? It has to, yeah, it just has to be the hole. I didn't mean to do that, holy shit. No, I know! Shut your face! Shut your face! I can't skip this! I know what it is! I just wanted to hit present!
Got it!
We found this bar of soap at the scene of the crime, just outside the victim's window. Inside? Yes, outside, where you yourself, Mr. Meterman, were loitering in the freezing winter air. Thorough investigation proceeds to ignore a hole where the money goes. Right. That's where we found this soap. Ah! I get it! That's right. The answer, of course. Ice. Did you say ice? Mr. Shamspeare has been leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening, filled with water. At night, outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid next morning. Then, he takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them into the gas meter, giving him light and warmth in space. As his room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice now inside the meter's coin box melts, turning back into water, and draining harmlessly away through the small hole made in the underside of the meter. That is how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing the ultimate gas. Just like that. So simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? He's been fooling with us with some bars of soap and some water? That's right, madam. Don't believe it. It can't be true. Do you have any idea how much money we spent to develop that new meter? And now you have the audacity to suggest that a bit of soap and some water can render it totally useless? I'm fairly sure I didn't design it. Evidence. Sorry? I want evidence. If you're going to stand there and tell me our meters are rubbish, I want to see proof. She's very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she? Very well, Lady Altman. If you'd like evidence, I'll provide it. What? Senator Hodo, are you saying you do actually have evidence to support this theory? I didn't notice a trace of something that bothered me a little at a time. And I have a feeling that this theory we've come up to now could explain it. Piece of evidence that substantiates the theory about how Mr. Shamspeare has been stealing gas. You!
Take that!
The photograph of the scene at the point where the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson. And it clearly shows that the remnants of the crime carried out by Mr. Shamspeare. What remnants? Here you can see the gas meter on a wall in Mr. Shamspeare's room. Now, look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the meter. What is that? Some kind of grubby stain? Most certainly. It's a water stain, resulted from the liquid that drained out the hole made in the meter. If one coin gives around 2 hours of gas usage and the occupant was heating his room in all of his waking hours, we can imagine he would have used around 10 of his fake coins each day. The melting ice inside the meter's coin box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a stain on the floor. This is awful. And there's further evidence too. Mr. Shamspeare slumped over his table, apparently having consumed strychnine. And right there next to him is a bar of soap, broken in half. You're right. It would appear to me then, counsel, that the man was eating the soap, was he? Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but certainly not. He didn't beat around the bush there, did he? In truth, Mr. Shamspeare was found with a fork in his hand. Meal of soap is sounding increasingly likely, Lord Amatsu. Do you mean to say he was using that fork to... Yes. You extract the frozen coin from the bar of soap. The bar broke in half. So perhaps it didn't go very well. Good gracious. Oh. Bye. Lord Von Zeeks! Was throwing my hand up in despair, and happened to catch my hallowed bottle on the way. Pray, forgive my malagic mistake. I don't know words. What's the meaning of this, counsel? Allow me to pose my learned friend a question. What exactly did you establish with your most recent cross-examination? Well, that Mr. William Shamspeare is a liar and a thief. In other words, that his testimony is unreliable. That's it exactly! Very well, let us assume the man is a liar. Now allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make? Well, we know that suicide can be discounted. Scotland Yard's investigation reveals no sign of another vessel that contains poison. And on the night in question, there were no visitors to the room except the accused. The young gasman testimony, which we have no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the possible way the poison could have entered the victim's body is via the tea. The court has seen no evidence whatsoever to suggest otherwise. Even if William Shamspeare is the liar you claim him to be, these facts have been objectively established. There is no escaping it. Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for immediate adjudication. You... What?! Order! Order! Well, counsel, how does the defense respond? Mr. Naruhodo! What's the point of that last cross-examination? Did it actually get us anywhere? Or did it make no difference at all, like Lord Von Zeeks is saying? No! This isn't over! The defense will not rest! What? But counsel, you've successfully explained everything! You've identified and substantiated the unscrupulous method employed by Mr. Shamspeare to consume gas. What more is there to discuss? Lord Von Zeeks just highlighted 3 facts in order to make his point. Contrary to what he would have the court believe, not all of them have been objectively established at all. What are you trying to say, my Nipponese friend? At least one of those so-called facts is an assumption made due to a lack of evidence. The situation has changed now, following the cross-examination of the latest witness to take the stand. Don't be absurd! What is this nonsense? Yes, when you bring everything we've learned so far together and consider it as a whole, it's clear. There's a question that we now need to reconsider, namely... I need more water. Poison in the tea. We've all been led to believe that the strychnine poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspeare was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume. That's conjecture at best.
Objection!
The victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There's no other possibility. And since there's no trace of the tea left at the scene, it can be tested for traces of the poison.
Objection!
As I said, the situation has changed. Because in fact, some of Mr. Natsume's tea was left at the scene. And a particular piece of evidence proves it.
Objection!
A ludicrous claim. Scotland Yard detectives investigated the scene exhaustively. What evidence are you suggesting they missed? Defense has made a bold claim indeed. Very well, counsel. Present your proof. What evidence from the scene of the crime can tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea? Oh, there's residue on this tea, but why? Must be the cup that Mr. Shamspeare was drinking from then. It's stained on the inside. He does that, I'm afraid. Even green tea. Really? Never noticed it before. You've never noticed? Well, I've never leave it in a cup long enough to leave a mark. I like to gulp it down. Drink tea while it's hot. That's the Japanese way, isn't it? Oh dear, so many people seem to have the wrong idea about our culture, and most of them are Japanese.
Take that!
What exactly is this piece of evidence supposed to reveal about Mr. Natsume's tea council? Well, I suspect it may possibly be related to the tea in some small way if we dig deep enough. And you'll be digging for a very long time indeed, my friend. Oh. Even at the bottom of the deepest chasm, you'll find no sense of that absurd assertion. Oops. Yeah, I tried. I'm pretty sure it's the bar soap. Or not the bar soap, the picture. I wish I could disappear down a deep chasm to escape his deep sarcasm. I advise you to think more deeply before you answer again this time.
Take that!
This one? No. Is it the meter? We're gonna have a problem in a second.
Take that!
What? Oh, we're gonna be in trouble. Hold on. I'm making an emergency save. Wait. Oh, is this wet? Whoever opened this envelope didn't bother with a letter opener or scissors, did they? Yes, whoever opened it was clearly someone with an unrefined temperament. And judging from the angle of the rip here, the person in question must have been right-handed. Mrs. Otto! I think perhaps someone's been reading too much of the Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. You can never read too much of it, Mr. Naruhodo, never! What? The teacup from which Mr. Natsume was drinking? Like the other one, the inside of this cup is completely clean. I suppose he must have drunk the contents before tea had a chance to leave a mark. Please gulp it down too. Sorry, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, if you just sip it little by little, it goes cold. Clearly. I shall have to instruct you in the proper way of to take tea. Oh! Now it shows it!
Take that!
Oh god damn it. Okay, fine. Well, I need to examine that evidence again. Where? Load game. Oh god damn it, won't let me zoom past it. Scree. Nothing about the cups. This is...
Take that!
Good gracious! The soap again? The same bar the victim used to fashion his coins of ice? Yes, that's right, my lord. It's just come back to me. Tell me about when we first found this bar of soap at the scene yesterday. Did they both have it or only one? Oh, wait! The coin that was in there was brown! That has to be tea! I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon the bars of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each bar. So you discovered the gas thief's coin factory. Fascinating. In a way, yes. But there's more. The coins we found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice. There's something strange about them, you mean? Exactly. Something very obviously strange. They were red. Ice was red? No. You mean... That's right. It's obvious to me now. Fake coins in the soap were made from the frozen tea! I would remind the court of a statement made by Mr. Natsume earlier in this trial. Which was... Is the fact that it freezes? Ah yes, I believe there's been a snowfall that... Oh, he wanted to use the water pump, but he couldn't. Sadly, on such occasions, the poorly constructed water mains in the East End are prone to freezing. So on the night in question, Mr. Shamspeare having no running water to use, was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsume in order to make his fake coins. My word! There were 2 bars of soap on the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene. That's right, and we only borrowed 1 of them. Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the scene of the crime. Frozen solid in a bar of soap outside Mr. Shamspeare's window. Extraordinary. Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that even if 1 drop of tea remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyze it for poison. As such, we are now in the position to prove or disprove what has until now been more conjecture, by finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume's tea actually contains strychnine at all. You smug Nipponese. My lord, we cannot do the defendant the injustice of passing judgment now. The police should be dispatched to recover the remaining bar of soap from the scene at once. The defense requests a thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in it, to determine whether or not it contains any poison. Bailiff! Instruct the police to attend to the scene at once. Yes, my lord, understood. It would seem we have no choice but to suspend these proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objections, Lord Von Zeeks. None, my lord. Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out the requisite test immediately. The trial will resume at the same hour tomorrow. Oh! We get to have another day? We didn't have that in the other game. Prosecution and defense may conduct further investigation as appropriate in the interim. Yes, my lord. Well, you managed to scrap through there somehow. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned until tomorrow. Okay. I really want to go through this entire case, but I'm actually quite tired. And my throat does not want to speak anymore. So we're gonna save here, and then we'll pick this up later. I'll probably do an early stream tomorrow. I don't know what I want to do. I'll figure it out. We'll do a stream in the afternoon, We'll do it with like an early birthday because my birthday's on Monday. Birthday's May 11th. And I got cards to open. And I want to open them. So I need to do it before raid. So we'll do a stream in the afternoon. Then we have raid for Monday and Tuesday. Then we go from there. With that said, y'all have a good night. Take care. I will see you guys later. Bye.